What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm bringing you a new StanceCo part. Now, all of my StanceCo stuff has been cts-v drift car focused, or street cars for the intakes and stuff like that. But today we have a 3000 GT part that I came up with. I've actually sold a couple of them, but I haven't really pushed it because I was waiting until I can show you guys, the 3000 GT owners out there, what it is, how it's going to help you out. So today I still have my engine out, so I figured now's the best time to show you. So what it is a remote bleeder line for your clutch slave. Now I'll show you where the slave cylinder is. It might be easy to some people, but you know, I like to make my life easier. I like to make my things more serviceable so that, you know, say I'm at the track with my car, it's not going to be as much of a hassle. I can get things done quicker. Or even if I'm just in the driveway and I'm, you know, bleeding my clutch, it just makes it easier. So let me show you guys what we're looking at here while my engine is literally dangling in the air. It's time to put this thing back in, and I'm going to be tasked with the bleeding of the clutch. So this is the front side of the transmission here. This is the back side. So your intake plenum, your throttle body is all right around here, and you got to reach all the way down here to your slave cylinder. So here's your shift fork, here's your slave. So we have our bleeder valve and we have our feed line. So the feed line, I already have a stainless steel braided line. I will be releasing a kit that is a stainless braided line. I just want to wait until it was in the car to measure it and then confirm measurement with the line I have. Just make sure it's routed the right way. But we have our bleeder valve here. Now the issue I've run into in the past is while trying to bleed this thing, let me get this out of the way. While trying to bleed this thing, you know, you could put a rubber pipe on, a rubber hose on it or something like that, and have someone pump it and you crack it. Well, I feel like the inevitable always happens, and you drip brake fluid all down the transmission. I've gotten it pooled up in here before, and it just makes a huge mess behind your engine, and it makes a mess. So I was thinking, you know, similar to the cts-vs in my LS cars, I have remote bleeders on them because it makes it easier. I don't have to get under the car for those to bleed anymore, but it doesn't make a mess down the side of the transmission all over the car. This is why I figured we'll get a little remote bleeder action going. So let me show you guys the super easy installation of this thing, and then basically where it's gonna land in the engine bay. So when you purchase the StanceCo remote bleeder line, and I apologize if I use speed bleeder, I only say that it's not gonna have a speed bleeder end, but it will make bleeding quicker. So if I use those terms, remote bleeder and speed bleeder, interchangeably, I apologize. But in the box, you are gonna get, as seen, it's gonna be your hose. It is a stainless steel braided coated hose with black fittings. You're gonna have a stainless steel bleeder valve, and then you are gonna have an adapter fitting that goes into the slave cylinder and a copper crush washer. Your copper crush washer needs to go in between this fitting and your slave cylinder, not obviously on your bleeder valve side. So moving over to the car itself, you're going to remove your bleeder valve like so. You're gonna take your adapter with the copper crush washer, and you are going to tighten that all the way down onto the slave. All the way down, get it nice and tight. Try and center your copper washer and then crank it down so that your washer crushes and creates a seal. And then you're gonna take your 90-degree end. You're going to screw that on to the adapter. Like so. Leave it loose. And then from there, we have our length of line to basically route it wherever we want. So with that, like I have heater hoses here, so that'll go underneath there. You can route it up around the front of the transmission mount, and you have plenty of length really to go wherever you want with this thing. And now what's nice is this coated line, it won't scratch anything like a raw stainless steel braided line will do. But yeah, so look how far out we go. So it will ultimately land you probably around the fuse box area. All right, guys, so to demonstrate how I was bleeding with the remote bleeder, I filled this up all the way. Ignore all my unfinished projects. I filled this up all the way, and we are right towards the bottom. Not sucking in air yet, and basically, you know, I don't have a battery up here, but without having to reach all the way down into the abyss and try and find where I'm working, I took a small brake fluid bottle, put the hose in it, I filled it up, so as you can see, the line is submerged. Kept it submerged right here in the engine bay, and I went to town pumping. Pulled the bleeder out, like so. Went to town, pumping the pedal by hand, just in and out rapidly, and it was pulling fluid down. So basically what that's doing is pushing fluid out, thus pushing air bubbles out. And then when you pull the pedal back up, the line is submerged. So you're pulling in fluid rather than if you were to do that, like let the pedal up on a regular bleed without it submerged, you're gonna suck in air and you're kind of undoing what you're doing. So one man bleed job here. Now I'm not saying this is gonna be 100% done, but it's easy by myself, but I'm getting it to the point because this system was dry. I'm getting it to a point where then I can have somebody in the car to give a couple pedal pumps, hold, and then I can break the bleeder into a cup. But again, I don't have to remove anything here, and I can do it right here, right out in the engine bay with a little container. I got plenty of space to work, and it's just a lot easier. So I'm going to top this off again. Remember, use DA4 fluid, just for the heck of it. It's better than the DA3 stuff. And I'm gonna top this off. I'm gonna do that a couple more times, and I'm gonna throw the bleeder in and see what kind of valve, what kind of clutch pressure I have. Because when I started this, my slave cylinder wasn't moving at all. So let's see what we got. Okay, so just after doing that, I have a rock solid pedal. Now I'm gonna reach down underneath and just see, make sure my master is now moving. I mean, yeah, we got tension down there on the slave. Wow, I'm honestly surprised. Look at that, boom. And you know, you can just tuck this thing anywhere. Tuck it down under here. Let's see, let's go down under the filter. And so I have it coming up there, coming up from the trans back there. And I'm just gonna tuck it down here. Voila. Maybe I'll move it, but for now, it's a good enough spot for me. But rock solid pedal, holy crap, I was not expecting that. I'll probably do a 2-man bleed just to make it sure it's good. But I wouldn't be surprised if that is good to go. I mean, we moved a lot of fluid. This little bottle had just enough fluid to submerge it, and it's like probably 2/3 of the way full now. So we moved, and this thing, yeah, we moved a good amount of fluid through the system by doing that and keeping it submerged like that, and definitely displaced most, if not all, of the air that was in it. So StanceCo remote bleeder kit. Save yourself from having to remove the Y-pipe, you know, your battery if you have one there, and just kind of makes life easier. You know, that's kind of where I modeled this around. I have it on some of my other cars, and I figured, why not? So if you're interested in picking one up, StanceCo.jp, head over. If you don't see it on the homepage, our homepage varies. If you don't see it on the homepage, don't be scared by the cts-v drift content that's on there and the parts that are on there, but head over to the 3000 GT page on StanceCo.jp. They are available. I'll typically have at least one here ready to go, but if not, if you place the order, within a week, it should ship out. So thank you guys for the support, 3000 GT guys. I'm hoping that down the line we can offer some more things. I have been talking with some people to make that a possibility, so stay tuned. I would like to build out the 3000 catalog on the site, try and bring some things that, you know, 3SX doesn't already have or Ground Zero doesn't already have. That way, bring something fresh to the platform. So thank you guys for watching this video, and pick one up if you have a manual 3000, and visit StanceCo.jp if you're interested in checking them out. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.